Oh man, the match got started and the battle has also. I've just got the confirmation. Gentlemen, welcome back again for the competition of PUBG Mobile Morvex tournament. Here we go with the group C. Yes, only the top team, top two teams, or you might count like top 10 teams will be on the next survival stage. And now the very first match getting started from the flight path starting from the southern corner, ending on to the northern. That's Severny and Rozuk becomes the center part. I see 19 teams on the game. Wow. And the chaos has already been started from the side of Primorsk. And then Georgiopol, container locations. Also, you may call Gatka. As some hot drops would be seeing, or, would be available to just witness. So I guess ready to witness the competitions. I hope so. So let's go for the mini scene at first. And let's see exactly on Primorsk what will the battle will be able to see. Team DOC Sports loses 3. It's just the final player frozen. The team DOC Esports, or you might say Doc Esports. Okay, but frozen becomes the final survivor here. Waits for the play to come out. That's Zyro, but Zyro is not coming. He's just waiting to get the confirmation. Waiting for the confirmation, you might say. It's frozen, would not reveal his position from the field. There has been such other battles, but the jump shot was so successful that it actually exposed the player and been able to take the finish too. Team DOC Sports would be eliminated for now. There was the team Mind fighting with the team Morvex Rejects, and the Morvex Rejects, being eliminated at first. Team DOC's team Vex and team US are just gone with 2 and 1 of points. Those are only the eliminations that we can count before the match ends. We only can count how many eliminations they're taking here. Now, team MetaMind Esports, yes, actually winning the first drop here. And all Sad Mad both taken 2 and 2. Now waiting for the next squad to eliminate. They knows where to go. Sad Mad gets there at first. Then Ulf gets close for the support before he actually makes the support for the team. It's Sad Mad to be taken down. Then that's Zyro taking the second knock here. And Zyro going in for the third, but Raven stopped Zyro. Then Ulf actually knocked out Weibo. It's anonymous. The final guy scouted out knows the situation is not greater for the team. Anonymous heading on for the fight. Such an intense moment to Metamind would be just rescuing the players till now. Anonymous goes in with just full confidence, but he knows there are four players, right? So it'll definitely be difficult for Anonymous alone to take them all down one by one. Is a good option, but all at once is the baddest option there. Still, Tim Rage or Rise, you might call. I'd love to say Rage, and Tim Rage actually has gotten the final player, but in an offline situation inside of this Katka. I hope so the player might not able to survive, but then Anonymous getting just like that. Okay, a grenade. One of the grenades were just charged in. It is indeed the first 16 teams to just go for the first battles. It's the location of Katka where Flower becomes actually a lucky one, yes, to not be eliminated because nobody actually has spotted the player. So as soon as they spot him, obviously he'd be decimated with the squad just like that. It is indeed the team 7 is strong. This is cute Shindra, and the players I might pronounce that Noxious or no Noxios, yeah, Nixios you might call that. It's Shremes and then Sharms. Okay, no, Share Mess, 7 Share Mess, 667, and then there was Voltage. Nice. Tim Ray has been eliminated. That player finally got spotted, and Gatka becomes liberated right now. On Back Esports is the next team we're scouting here with the player as Salam and then Zilek, Enzo, and then Kyuga. Oh wow, PFA, I see that. But they do have the weapon combinations needed for a close combination game. I see the team is starting so smooth, has the vehicles, but definitely go for the first stage. All you need to have more than 50 plus points to be on the top second. And then, on the top 10 list, we'd have our next qualifiers team, but from 11th position, it would be the disqualifications only. And now, the Royal Hyde Esports actually scouted the Georgiapol Southern City in the nose where the flank is, goes for the vehicle destruction by taking one of the tires, and now it's Vic Z. Wow, to be taken out with the first knock. There was Salam from such a long range with just an info 16 and the 4 times of a combination of an scope. That's kid by Royal Harry Sports, and Vexi just out for the team to get the support for Salam. But before the team would actually go for the support, it's definitely going to be a surroundable position by the team those who attacked. I see the first zone being in the number for the next zone shift, and Rozok becomes a center point. Still, you would be available, you'd be able to see just 3 teams right there. From the south on the Novoripnoy, there might be a team waiting for the breach cross, but I see the team just making it in a bit of delay to do that. It's on back esports understood that they have been surrounded. They knows not to be get exposed right now, but they'll just think to defend here. Still, the flank from Vixie goes top notch with visuals. He can definitely go for the gate, but I think he'll not go close this time because this flank is such good to just get control of the whole city. And that smoke was being spammed by Vic Z. Still has a good shotgun in the hand for the close combat if it happens. TNZ Esports did start the game good too. It's Mosey, Rocky, Risky, and Cloxy. But I see the team just waiting for the next zones to be shifted. Still inside on the mini school. And besides, Pochinki is a good location to be scouted. But I hope Pochinki has already their squad been located on. Team Mind takes first 7 elims. Team QRX takes 4 elims. And Too High been able to take 4 elims too. But from the uh yeah, distracted teams, I see the Vex, named as Morvex Reject, gets their first two elims. US is getting one, Doc getting one, but Race 7 and US would have zero in the count for the first game. It's indeed team Make and Way, yeah, Make a Way, and they do share a great tag here. That's MW Make a Way. It's GABA 18, and then that was Spectra. It's Zoni or Ozoni, okay, and Claroid. Nice names, nice names. Team Hype been scouted there on the skill compound. Spectra goes in with some shots, not been able to connect, so now just tries to get the intels from the teammates from different angles, like where they have been scouting for. Somehow the team has gotten good intels here, and that intel is they have been surrounded with two teams. It's Thug Life Esport on screen, being starting the game so good too, not been engaged with a single game or a single battle, you might say. Yeah, it's just the matches, and we'd count the battles as the battles, or you might say, like, the games. Not bad. It's only the 15 teams to fight for the first match. Leo Esports definitely taking the Pochinki. Such a good location according to the second stage on the map. And Ozone makes the first knock there. The fight has been started. It's Team Hype getting the first player in a bad situation, but yeah, going good with the first time rescue. Parish getting rescued. Nuri, a good scouter, scouted the whole school. Metamind Esports, the first team to have that much elims rather than others. And definitely the team can expect some good results from the start. Now it's Team 6, T's Flocky and the kill feed to take the first knock. Team Thug Life Esports been interrupted. Team Leo Esports, knows they had the knock. Yes, they do have it, but next there was a good try with the buggy to go for the vehicle ran over. One of was successful, and the second one was successful before actually the second one gets encountered. The angle was so explosive that it was possible to take the Malik too. And now Team Esports getting encountered again. Oh wow, that's not only one, but the elimination of three players for Team Thug Esport. And Team Thug Life Esport just hopes for the survival process, but cannot go for the rescue, I guess, because the location has been compromised, and now all he needs to do is to just complete the first 1v1 combat, and that was incomplete from the Team Thug Life Esports. This time Team Lee Esports will be winning all of the 4 eliminations. That is great, but Team Metamind is just going in smooth with an head-on-head with Team QRX. On the other side, it's Team TNZ and defending on the mini school. Then Team QRX gets the encounter. Both of the teams, but QRX did it better. Metamind just getting two of the players in the bleed out situation for now from the kill feed. TNZ going in with the grenades. That was successful. Tinder next knock. Tinder makes the next knock. That means Team Metamind loses 3. But Team TNZ would definitely be winning here. It was the final player of On Back Esport, been just trying to defend from the warehouse, but been surrounded from the front and back. It was just no other second options were available for the player. Team QRX did so great, been securing 3 players of Team Metamind. That leads Team Metamind to be in solo. Still 7 elims, so far not bad. All just been able to survive and moves on to survive until the end. Absolutely a good decision, but the path he's taking onto is not gonna be that good. There are some other teams waiting at the checkpoints. If Olf gets spotted, definitely he is. Now tries to just sneak in on the next compound beside Pochinki's. I think Olf MVP would survive for 5th stage. It might be. It's a good option, but Team Lee Sports actually scouted out. They knows there is one player, but wouldn't love to go for this praise. That's some losses. I can count with the abos. It's Team Rain Esports, yeah, or you can say that Raging. Mm-hmm. Range. You might say that, but the team loses lots of ankles. It's all about the push from QRX. Been so great with the executions. Oh, it's scary, such a scariest move. Now gets the player for the support. That's Tinder. The team has been surrounded. QRX Esports taking the southern part. Team Raging going with the first knock with a grenade. Then QRX encounters it with an Scarlight. That's great, but QRX Tinder makes the second knock. That goes with the first lead in the upper hand for the team QRX, and there goes Sky being eliminated. Just like that, QRX eliminated 3 teams in a row, and Raging Esport is just not surviving anymore. 12 teams and 11 points for Team QRX. At first, Team Metamind started like they would just, go at the speed of Doom, but not anymore. It's QRX with the Doom, with the elimination of 3 different squads. Great. You're just, getting 10 plus of points by just the eliminations. So, how many more Team QRX can count? You see the mini screen that told us Team QRX is just heading for the next battle. Team 2 High team is just on the Water City with just 1 minute of time. 1 minute. Is it enough? I think it is. 4th stage, and no other pressures or gatekeeps were seen from the side of this Water City. Yeah, the Rozo kill becomes a good checkpoint for other teams to check out on this edge, but Team TNZ or TNZs, nice, getting the next point on and on, again and again. It is the same place indeed where they're defending the second time. Wow, it's the second time the team is taking a close combat, and yes, the combat was completed. Only 2 of the players were coming close, and that was Team 7 Strongs to just, thought about to go for the checkpoint, but that was unsuccessful. Then it is Hutch to go with the trace knock, such a good trace. Now goes with the scout on the shack, such a good location, and the final finish was been taken just like that. 4 squads in a row, but Tinder would not have any more chances to continue with the team for this first game. 15 freaking eliminations. It will definitely be more than 20 plus eliminations for Team QRX as the speed they're just maintaining so far. Every battle was the 4v4 or in a format of 4v4. Not bad. Team Got X Genesis. Okay, I've seen Team Got X Herds. Now I see Team Got X Genesis. Okay, hype. Still in the compounds. Knows the neighbors. Not bad. You do have a barrier, and that's such a gap between the compounds. On the hillside, there is another team, Hector Spy, spying on you. If you just try to get outside, you'll be spotted and just hunted down, just like that. Team Godex Genesis has got a really good tag. It's GNSS on, beside of Hype Esports inside this school compound. It's the next zone shift right now. The timing was bad, but the zone shifts pretty bad on the western side for the teams of the northern. It will become a problem, but for the team QRX, it might not be the problem, as they're just proving themselves good and order to break the gatekeeps. It's Team Hype to fight with Team MWs. Again, MWs just, not again, it's the very first time Team MWs been just getting engaged without, hidden fights. But I think not. Team MWs would go with the, counters. That counter was successful. Team Too High gets to the players in the bleed out situation. Team LWs loses 2. It's Modo or Mood. Not Modo. It's Mood from Alpha Crew. Very well. Alpha Crew becomes a solo survivor this time. Needs to just pass on those 200 meters to be inside on the next 5th stage. That's Team CXTs to fight with Team TNZs. And TNZs losing a second that gets only the final two players on the side of the minuscule, and minuscule gets the support of this fifth stage where the eastern meat been taken by Team Spy. Such a good checkpoint. Yeah, now they can have the elimination points of the skill compounds. Skill compound is just the compound that the teams thinking for the risks, like what risks they has to pull here. If they have to, it's Team Lewis Sports been defending here. The Molotov was good, but it might not confirm the kill. It's Bosanak waiting to go with grenades. QRX loses his carry, loses Eldo X. Been get kept by Team Metamind Esports. That was just the solo player of Metamind. It's all MVP being clutched out. The aggressiveness was just decimated right now, but QRX got in the baddest position. He might just discuss about. Okay, not bad, but the grenade was so deadly. Team Lewis Sports facing the pressure on the northern side, it still manages to finish one of the teams. That was Team got Genesis. And then I see a new team, Alpha Crew, that was. Okay, but Team Lewis Sports needs to win this. It's just the final 5 teams to deal for the chicken dinner. The score settlement is going smooth with Team Hype and Team Spy. Also for Team MWs, but Too High and Team Lee Sports did not have that much of time. Here Team Lee Sports tries to just defend, and the defense was strong enough to be succeeded. Team MWs finds that a bit of frustrating. Still, the lead was not broken out. Spy Void Walkers on the southern. Oh my goodness, what was that? It dodged the vehicle, ran over. Team Hype tried to just make out the pressures, but then got the pressure of their own. It is no fox. Nice support. Team Spy and the checkpoint was such accurate to deal with this chaos, right? Yes, Novox and his grenade was deadly enough. Oh, that was such an once HP knock by Eve X77K. It's Team Hype. It's treat the teammates in the situation where they might not want to go with the rescues. Not enough time left to go for the rescues. Even Team Spy did not let them to do that. Hype now loses 3. Only lives with the final play. Nuri or Nur1. No, it's Nuri. I see Nuri been watching out Team 2 Highs all of the time. It's just the 7th stage with just the 50 seconds of time. Team 2 High team is just waiting to get the next rotation inside of the 7th stage. The 7th stage is such a deadly one to be touched out by the blue zone. Now Team Hype and Team 2 High been in a face-to-face situation. MWs would have no other options, just got eliminated on the very 4th place. Not bad. Spy comes here to scouted down Nuri and finishes the kill off. Just the final 2 teams remains for the first chicken dinner. Indeed, Team Spy Voidwalkers did so great, has their full roster available for the final game to settle for the chicken dinner. Team 2 High needed the player support right now, but they only do have 2 the players left. It's Troll getting knocked out just like that. Then final player becomes just explosive. That's money. All he could do just take out one of the player, but he couldn't. And then the chicken dinner, that'll definitely come for Team Spy Void Walkers. That checkpoint on the edge side of the ridge, it's the checkpoint of victory. You should say that the decision was top notch. Spy Void Walkers did great in the first game, been able to take lots of points, but still the competitors took a lot. That was the team QRX to be taken out. 15 plus eliminations, I saw that. So I hope in a head-to-head situation we'd be able to see Team QRX on the moment. Team Leo Sport did good from the 6th stage. That was the responsibility for the team to just gate kept The whole Northern, then Team Spy faced a chaos with Team Hype, but that 1 HP knock was such deadly. I'd love to express that to Spy. After knowing that there was just the final player left, according to the player survivals, he just gone with confident. Okay, he was going inside because he knew he had the player support, right? The backups, the ADSs. No Vox, silent, and then the player of EBE, okay, EBCV 7, not bad, EBCV. And then I see Farouz. It's a good name, but the contribution was good. On this group C, we see 69 total eliminations and 67 total knockouts. That was 9,893 total healings and 8 of grenade eliminations. 38 of assists and 2 of the vehicle eliminations were spotted in the first game. And the gap point would be a good one. Yes, such a good one. I see the match summary. It's not bad because 70, almost 70 or close to 70 or 69, you can count that to 70, is a good number to balance. And now the 19 teams shows us that on the group A, on the group E, and on the group C, we see the same kind of competitions, neck to neck. Yes, it's like a bottleneck move. Team QRX Esports becomes the team, the team you can call king of damages from the first game with 2000 plus damages, where Team Spy been able to take 1321. There was 10 eliminations from Spy's side and 15 eliminations on QRX's side, but QRX didn't have those placement points, right? So with only elimination points, Team QRX actually has taken 15, and then Team Spy was able to take 20 in total. So 5 points for the gap and being the top 2 teams here. Now there are some other teams too to be taken such a good number from the first game, but still you should remember that you have more 3 games to deal off. Now the MVP segment, yes. Then who becomes the MVP for the first game? Can you get any guess, gentlemen? You were watching PUBG Mobile Morvex tournament, and on the semi-final stage on Group C, on the very first game, Ulf MVP becomes the MVP here. Such a good name. He knew that he should have the confidence of taking the MVP title. It's 7 eliminations and 1048 damages in total. Now 1 of assists and 4 of knockouts, 301 of hittings, and 18 minutes of 7 seconds. Total survival not bad, but 7 eliminations in a solo on the first game. Definitely Metamind would do great on the next games. Would love to watch out for that. It's the PUBG Mobile Morvex tournament with Pmmt Heatwave. Now top players. Here is the list of the first game. It's Hutch, Bosanak, Floki, and Troll with us on this first top 5 list. Then it will be shuffled on and on. But you see that QRX Hutch been able to take the 7 eliminations on the number 2, but only dealing the 500 damage almost. So that means Team QRX did it good, but the team support from Hutch's side was more good. Now with 500 damage, you cannot expect the 7 eliminations, but yeah, somewhere I've seen that with 3 eliminations, or 3 eliminations for more than 1500 plus damages and 15 kills, or not 15 kills, like 9 kills with only 400 of damages. I've seen that. Someone was able to just steal the kills, steal the knocks. It is indeed the match rankings right now. Team Spy been able to take 20, Team QRX were with 50, Team 2 High team did great with 12, Lea Sports taking 12, Makerware taking 10, and Team Metamind Sports taking the same 10 points. Those are the top 6 teams for the competition. And then Team TNZ Esports, Team Hype Esports, Team Morvix Rejects, Team Alpha Crew, Team Just Us, Team Doc Esports, God Genesis, Royal Hut, Tag Life, Raging Esport, and then Team Raze, Team 7 Strongs, Team On Back Esports, Team United Squad tried great, but it's just the first match, you cannot judge. like what's gotta be, right? So now, after the match rankings, we can head on for the schedules because in the first match there is no overall leaderboard because the first match becomes the overall leaderboard. So the schedule says the second game would be on the Miramar map, and that table turn moment. On the first three games, we'd expect the table turnings. So let's hope for the best on the next game. Till then, stay tuned. I'll be right back with a short little break. Gentlemen, after such a short little break, I'm back again on the caster desk. Your host Kirkiark for the night for the competition. You're watching PUBG Mobile Norvex tournament with Pmmt Heatwave. Now, on this very group C, we see the first game and the competition sets on the first game between the number one and the number two is only for the 5 points, and for the top six teams is just the 20 to the 10 points, and that means the gap is literally a short gap. Now, the second game will be on the Miramar map, and 19 teams will be set on for their drop directed locations according to the flight path, and the zone will be in a single location like in just a corner. I think so. On the northern western, and the northern eastern, and the southern eastern, and the southern western, but not in the mid. But if it is in the mid, then it will be definitely in a good shape where lots of teams can be on the outer the first stage. Let's watch it after the flight path starts. Now it's the flight path of the second game, match number two. Let us understand the competition. Yes, it is indeed the semi-finale stage, and the semi-finale stage has got you two chances. The first one is to just get qualified on the grand finale directly by being on the number one and the number two position after four games on the leaderboard. And the second opportunity is to just be on the next survival stage to be on that grand finale. So we just being in the top 10 teams from the third to the 10th position. That is the two the opportunities. So those two zones becomes the green and the yellow zone for us to understand that which team is in the danger zone and which team is in the yellow zone and which team is in the direct green zone, right? For the green zone, you might expect 50 plus points. Yes, on the top second, on the number one position, I might see 60 plus points to be having by a team. But the thing is, after this flight path, it's literally taking the western mid. Yeah, not the western mid, but actually the southern western side in a bit of mid. But you should say Montenegro becomes the center point here. Now it's the time for the draw clash battles. At first, on Hacienda del Patron, the first battle might occur. On Montenegro, the second battle might be happening. And on Valle del Mar, a third battle. And on El Pozo, a fourth battle might occur right now. I see the teams just getting in the brawl at first. It is indeed the first Chicantina winner squad team is by Void Walkers sharing the same Hacienda del Patron's compound where a golden Mirado is available. So it's the main compound, you might say, or the golden Mirado compound. Sometimes people, identifies this location particularly like with the golden Mirado. But look at that. The first upper hand comes from Team Spy Void Walkers with a grenade. The first knock was made. The team is searching for the next angles of the team QRXs. You do want to remember, or you might want to remember what what exactly or at what number the points had Team QRX at the first game. It's QRX indeed losing out the players and the Spy Void Walkers securing the knocks, and that means Team QRX would be in a trial. That's a player loss. On the first game, the team only took 15 eliminations. There hadn't any of the placement points, but still they are on the top second position. So definitely the team is good. And now in a 4v4 game, they try skid. They do great, but this time the stable squad spy void walkers are here for the first battle, for the first fight. Yes, now Team QRX needs to fight back, but after losing one of the player, it will be difficult for them to overcome the fear. Not only Esports eliminates the final player Team Raise, and now Team Raise Esports, that was not the final player but the first player of the team, and then it's the second player of Team Raise by taking by being taken down of by New Sports. But oh my goodness, that was Bosanak from the rooftop. Wow, such a good angle. But for Team Raise, it's been really bad for now as Plawa becomes the final player here. Now tries to go for the 1v1, but Bosanak gets close, and there comes the pressure. But before the support gets close, the kill would be secured. That's the motto of a solo player. Now it's Team QRX indeed going with encounters. Team Spy Void Walkers thinks to get the support for the team, but Tinda makes a new knock, and that's it. Team Spy Void Walkers has the time to go with the rescues. It's Tinda indeed with such low HPs, and this two they're the players, but goes on. Oh my goodness, that is such a close combat. But it should have been able to make not only one but two or three knocks at once. And now it's scary with the SKS in the hand with the UMP with the pipe. It definitely needs to switch the weapon. If Team QRX would understood that the players are in such low HP, then scary would want to go in. But that's DBS, and you wouldn't love to be traded against a devious weapon. And now, Scary tried to get close, but Silent dealt with Scary. And QRX esports are not surviving anymore. They wouldn't have any more points. But for a good comeback, it's really been a good chance for Team Lee Sports after taking the first 12 points and the next final, not final, but first four elimination points. The count has reached on for the 16 points, and Team Lee Sports is just getting on the second position. But after the match ends, we might see some, comebacks from the bottom teams because the first three teams are for the table flips, and the table will be flipped after the third game too, and then the fourth game would become the competition for the stage to just be in a judgmental way that which top 10 teams would be available for the two special opportunities from this tournament. I'd love to thank team, not team, but the organization of Morvex, and thanks to Pmmt Heatwave too. Nice. The name, the tag, the management is so great. And with the visuals too, right? Such a good visual. You see Team On Back Esport on the Ladriel Lara to fight with Team DOCs, and DOCs has the passive in the close, but passive choked it with a shotgun. That was unexpected, but Doc Esports only has one of the players remaining here, so the best option is to just, go out from this zone. This is really a big red zone for a solo player to withstand. Now, Frozen, what he is doing here is just not falling back. We cannot say that. Yes, he wants to just hold for some time, for some seconds. It's money from Team Too High, and there on the kill feed, that was Team MWs losing out the second player, but money. Just nothing still goes with such good pre-fires. That's the UMP. Tries to get the pre-fire right now, but no, not available. You cannot get the second chance. Team 2 high team would not be able to take any points from now. Only can hope for the next two games. But for Team AMWs, it's been really a great loss for the team at the very start. Only two of the players are remaining, and that might become a problem for the team to deal for the 2v4 at the drop clash. It's TNZ Esports, it's Risky Mozi on the last lane is CT or El Pozo. This is El Pozo. Oh, not bad. But On Back Esports is searching for the team. Okay, let them knows where they are. It's just the hidden game. There comes the encounter from Effect. Takes down Enzo. Then on the kill feed, it's Kaba taking a point against Range or Ragen. But Ragen or Rain, you can say that. Sometimes the G gets hidden. Okay, let's talk about the zone, right? Montenegro and Ladrellara is such some good locations to be taken out on the next zone shifts on El Pozo, on Montenegro and Ladrellara. They are just the battles on this first, or the second stage. You can say that first two zones. It's been such good for the teams those are in the right spot, but all you need to do is to just execute good. If you cannot, then you wouldn't have the chance to withstand, right? United Squad. I love the name, right? US. United Squad. It's really going good with the tag US. It's Frostboy, Unam, Yerald, okay, but World, you can say that. And there are Samurai or Samurai. Not bad. Only the 15 teams. And United Squad just facing a good problem here. That's a bad thing because now Unam would be spotted out by a third squad. You're just trying to focus for the flanks, but when he was going on with the flanks, the rest of the players took the advantage. Such a good execution by Team by Void Walkers. Definitely, why they took the chicken dinner on the first game, you can clearly get an idea about that, like how they did it. That was a good or a successful chicken dinner. Now it's World to go do encounters, but then Zavek V7 eliminates the final player of World. That's it. Team United Squad is just getting decimated by that final blow, but Spy Void Walkers are not losing any of the players. Yes, it's a great thing to just complete first two battles but not losing any, no casualties. Team Spy Voidwalkers is just maintaining the consistency after the first 20 points. It's another 8 elims coming on the very second stage. That means the team has chances, lots of chances. But Spy Voidwalkers facing the loss because of the blue zones that such low HPs. Again, they need to make the rescue. Team Rage in Esport has the first point. Now been a bit of careless. No, but careless is not the good word for the team to be explaining. It's Rage in Esports, and Rage in Esports also did the same as Team Spy Voidwalkers. Now, Team Spy Voidwalkers, what they have? They have the full roster in a recalibrated way. Now, Team Morvix rejects. I've seen lots of Morvix's team, Morvix NGs, Morvix tryouts, Morvix rejects. And there were some of the other teams from Morvix's side. Morvix really trying to do good with lots of teams. Such a good thing to observe with lots of skills or skillful players. It's Morvix rejects right on screen. But at the very first game, that was not that good for the team because they were only been able to take 2 points. But still, the 2 points, they are on the 12th position. But now they need more than 18 plus points, yes, to be on the top second at first. Now the second spot is good for Team Leo as they do share those 16 points on the leaderboard, and they need more of like 12 points more to go to just be close or balanced with Team Spy. But Spy's speed, or the speed of Team Spy Voidwalkers, is just faster, slight faster. Second stage only, and 8 eliminations. How more, or how far can you go? That's a point. We'd be watching out for that for Team Spies. It's Rajin, and now they're losing Kayamot. Okay, it's Sharok R and Sky. Kayamot, nice name, but which country they're representing for? I do have such questions, definitely from the internationals. Yeah, the teams are not only sharing one country, but from different countries. Not bad. Time to get a new zone, and the new zone supports the center. It's Montenegro and Ladrilara again. From the northern, there has been such two teams to deal the edge. On the southern, it's Team Leo Sports, the second competitors who has the first points, first four, and now waits for a new team to make a rotation from south. Maybe they're going for the gate kept on the south from the very third stage. Many of the teams are on the outside and needs to get in. Only some of the teams got the advantage. Yeah, it's the stages, the circles that gets you in this kind of messy situations, but you need to take some good decisions to overcome those. Just Us is a good squad, but Just Us, you see, they do also share some of the tag is kind of same with Team United Squad. That is US, but United Squad has their tag in the alphabetically. That's the capital letter, and the team we spotted US, a new one, has the small letter. Now, it's the Team Leo Esports fighting with Team Morvex. I see a Raka 33 from Team Leo getting aggressive a little bit off. Team Metamind gets Olf in a bleed out situations. Shorkar, Sadmad, Raven, and Olf. Those are the names of the players. And Metamind watching out for Team Raging. The rescue was completed. Sadmad looking for the visuals but cannot get any. Only identifies that in which side the Team Raging Esports is maintaining. It's Montenegro. The hillside is dangerous for both of the teams. Raging Esports would love to understand that. The long range shots so accurate from these international teams, so that'll not be that tough to deal with them from these open locations. It's Sad Mad going with the first knock. Sharok tries to get inside of the compound so that Sky can get the chance to go for the rescue or defend. Now Sky reveals himself, tries to make a bait. Sad Mad goes in for the bait, and now Sad Mad switches the weapon to the shotgun, trying to understand like where the player can be. There is the jump shot from Sad Mad. It's the second knock and finish by Sad Mad. First 2 points are coming. Team Raging Sports became weak. Only one of the player is remaining, and that's R. AAR. Yeah, R. But what's the option? Two of the options. Either you go for the completion of the battle, neither you go for the survival process. It's Team Just Us. Yeah, the team I talked earlier for the tag that is in the small letter alphabetically, but the alphabets are good. The names are good, unique names. I love it. The next zone clearly takes the Montenegro, but Monte. The whole area been just inside in the zone. Now still you see the northern teams are not ready to deal for the edge. But Team Just Us tries to make one. They're getting ready, getting wound up. It's Alpha Crew being the problem for now. Morma, Noob, and then Gratian and Mood. These were the players. But now, after the first knock of Mormon, actually Mormon thinks to be inside in the compounds just to defend. But Team Just Us, maybe they can go for a good decision like getting the slam in close into the this northern. I think not, because Team Spy Void Walkers slowly getting the eastern northern rotation path. Yes, and by getting following the path, they might get Team Just Us and Team Alpha Q fighting together, and they might go with the third party options. But Team Just Us, as soon as realizing, yeah, as soon they have realized the situation, they're just taking a different path to be inside on this next fourth stage. Just for the final 5 seconds to get some new time for the next zone shifts. The teams, those are on the outside of the zone, needs to think faster for now, or needs to take the decisions faster. It is R to go with the first knock. But then the gun switch was a bit late, and then Sad Mad reached onto the direction, but then Sad Mad gets exposed and get a lot of damage. But that was Bosanak with the mini 14. He took the knock, and then Bosanak gets eliminated too. After the knock he was made, he wasn't able to finish the knock. Before he finishes the knock, he just got decimated. Now it is Neja 2 fighting with Mood, and then Keto GWM takes to the knocks. It's Alpha Crew, and Noob becomes the final player from the team to deal for the scores. And then Royal Hari Sports tagged as RHTs just got eliminated. Alpha Q got eliminated with 0 limbs, but Royal had been able to take the first 4 points, I guess. Yes. So it will come to total 5 points for the team. Thug Life Esports scouting from the north, getting the finish for the team. That's Try Hard, and Try Hard did actually try hard. Yeah, he tried hard. But Thug Life Esports waiting for a perfect painting. It's Malik 77 to go with the mini 14 against Kana. And Kana, would he be able to survive again? Yes, maybe. The rescue might be successful, but that's the player. X for you Miyuki. Okay, for you Miyuki, or Vex X for you Miyuki. You might, and if you want to pronounce the whole alphabet, forget that. The trace mark from Miyuki is great. TNGs loses the player. It's Squash Boo to finish the play off with the mini 14. That's such a long hand. You might want to count. It's Team Thug Life Esport again with the lead, but cannot go with the finishes. Team got Genesis is in trouble because of which one? Thug Life Esports? Fifth stage has begun to start, but already came to a point where the zone will be shrinked after just 2 seconds. The new timer is open. Only 30 seconds for the teams on the edge to be in on the next zone. It's TNG's esports. Risky that is. Getting inside of the vehicle and trying to be inside in the next zone only has to the first aid kit and 15 bandages, but needs to drink so that he can survive with the bandages popping in. Now the Morvex rejects in the problem for now, and the Morvex loses a lot of players. TNG is been scouting, and TNG's got in trouble because of the Morvex. Morvex gets the grenades close to Risky. Risky understands he needs to block the visuals. Okay. Now Team Spy Void fighting with Team Metamind and Team Just Us defending against slamming its Thug Life Esports, eliminating TNZs. What TNZ's risky would be? No more. Now, Neja too. I'd love to watch of this player. Recently, I saw Neja, but I wasn't been able to see the Neja 2 movie. Okay. That was not from the sponsors, so I cannot promotion or make a promotion of the movie. Now it's all for the competition. It's still 9 teams are going smooth, and that's the tabletop team is by Void Workers, who has been taking 11 eliminations so far, and then Team Lee Sports taking 6 elims. Team MW is taking 4, Team Metamind taking 4, Team US has taken 4, Team Doug Lives taking 4, Morvex still with the 2 of the players with just 1 elims. On back esports taking 3 and Team Doc esports taking 1, and these are the 9 teams that will be available for the settlement for the chicken dinner. But only 2 of the teams can get the advantage if they can actually make their players alive on the final 8th stage. I hope so. Now it's the very 6th stage, and we all know that how much damage it can deal. What is the cost actually? But let's get on to the point. It's for the comeback for the second game for Team MW. It's been a bad situation outside of the zone. Team Metamind fighting with Team Spice, and Metamind gets an encounter too, but that's a third party from Team Leo's 60s Flocky mix knock. Shorkar would expect to get rescued. Team Doc Frozen needs to just get hidden. For a long time unless the rest of the teams get eliminated by battling in between them. It's Team Just Us, and Neja 2 takes a compound. Ybot takes a different compound. Neja 2 understands. Team Spy Void Walkers tries to get inside. Team Lee Sports understands this situation is good for them for now for the next 20 seconds, but after the 20 seconds of time a new zone will occur, and they might only have 30 more seconds for the next zone to be shrinked, right? Yes, the zone will be faster. Team Spy Void Walkers tries to make the path with the smokes so that the visuals will be usable, but then Raka interrupted Neja, and Miyuki gets a knock against Flocky. Then Sadmat comes with the support, and Silent gets decimated. Sadmat takes Faruz too. Sadmat dealt it good. Team Spy Void Walkers losing out the full players. Oh my goodness, that was such a good third party. But by Team Thug Life Esports, okay, they have eliminated a new squad too. But Team Metamind actually eliminated Team Spy Void Walker just like that by being in a duo only. Wow. Spy Void Walkers, the table toppers, still been able to survive on the location. But Thug 04, all he had to do is just climb up, and then he makes the knock against Shorkar. Yes, Team Metamind loses Shorkar this time. It's Sad Man on the back end. Understands there is a player on the roof. Now Lee Sports thinks about the problem of the Morvex. Flocky charges the grenade that takes down Miyuki, and Miyuki, all the player has is the player named as Squash Boo. the name, yes, and I see Squash Boo just thinking like how he will overcome on this position. That's a DBS, but Squash Boo reveals him and then just gets on the outside. Oh, that was such a wrong decision. Team Lee Sports will be able to eliminate the player, and then that encounter from Raka 33 was just amazing. With such a low HP, he encountered it, reflexed it, and then the meta mind with just being only in duo, the team was able to eliminate Thug Life Esports 2. Now it's the final time for the Metamind Esports. That's sad mad. Taking down Flocky, shooting the weapon, but getting eliminated in the 1v1. And then Team Metamind Esports would be eliminated, and Team Leo Esports would come up with the chicken dinner winner squad. Yes, winning moment. The winning moment was from the Team Leo Esports. Leo makes the comeback. Yes, they were the second competitors. They started the game good, and at the end, the execution was executed, and they were successfully be able to, been able to defend the teams. Metamind did it so great this time. Yes, on the head-to-head, you might be able to see Team Lee Sports with the Team Metamind, but you see Team Lee Sports, after just getting the dual roster, they tried to make the decisions for the holding points. Yeah, and they hold. Yeah, they were on hold for a long time. But for Team Tag Life Esports, it was such a good position, but they couldn't actually, defend their position. Then Team Lee Sports actually came out. Thug Life Esports were taken down by Metamind. That is not bad because, by being in a duo, how many teams you're just breaking for? Metamind broke the Northern Gatekeep, and the Gatekeep was from Team Spy Void Walkers. Yes. And then Metamind, what they did actually, they did eliminated Team Thug Life Esports 2 in a 2v4. So the battle was fought hard. Now Team Lee Sports, and just getting all of the advantages. 13 total eliminations were there, and the solo contribution from Raka, that was top notch. After the match summary, we'll be able to see Raka from Team Lee Sports on the MVPs list. I hope so. But the match summary that says it was total 66 eliminations and 78 knockouts in total. Then it was 11,645 total healings. Now that was the one grenade elimination, okay, from the total game. But there has been a lot of lots of uses for the grenades, but only one of the grenades were successful to finish a player. Now I see 32 total assists, not bad. It's the head-to-head segment. Team Mind with Team Leo. And the comparison is here. Team Mind takes 10 elims and takes the 6 placement points by finishing the game on top second. They're getting 16 total points, and Team Lee Sports taking 23 with taking 13 eliminations. Both team played very well. That was the consistency we'd love to talk about. For it's 2000 plus damages for Team Leo and 1500 plus damages for Team Metamind. And now Sad Mad gets the MVP title. I thought that would be Raka, yeah, from Leo, but no, it's Sad Mad because of the damages he dealt here. So we suspected that might be a new player, and the suspect was right. Yes, 1135. The damage is so good, but the competition has become hard because it's the second game, right? So after the first game, the second game was also completed as smooth as the first game was. The competition was good. It's not far better, but it was as expected, and then a stable competition to be discussed about. Now, Sad Mad would definitely be thinking to be on top after match 2. Sad Mad, yes, he takes 8 elims, but Raka takes 8 elims too, but there were slight differences between both the teams, 960 damages and 1135. That made the difference. Then it was EBC V7 and GABA 18, and then the Nova X or Novax. 4 elims, 3 elims, and 8 elims. But because of the damages, EBC V7 got that top 3. From the match ranking, you can see the points. It was 23 the highest, been taken by Team Leo, and then 16 the second highest, been taken by Team Metamind Esports. Then It's 13 points for Team Spy Void Walkers, been able to make the consistency for the competition on the leaderboard. Now Taglav Esports taken 12 and Just has taken 7. Now there is the team Morvix Rejects getting those 5 points for the team Raging Esports, getting 4 points for lots of teams. Make away Royal Air Esports and one back Esports. Yes, been able to take those 4 points from the first Dropless battles. But Doc Esports gets 2 points for Team Goth X Genesis. 1 point for Team Rage and 1 point for Team TNZ Esports. It's QRX and 2 high team Alpha Crew United Squad, 7 strongs and high. We does. Right now on this very second game. Now it's the time for the overall top players list, and there we see Sad Mad getting the table topper title on the MVP list with just 1700 damages and 10 elims. But Raka gets close to Sad Mad with 9 elims. Only the difference of 1 eliminations and almost 500 and plus 80 damages. So almost you can count that to 600 of damages in the gap. Floki from Team Leo becomes the third competitor on the MVP list, and then Team Metamind, yes, Metamind getting the Wolf MVP with such good number. Then it was EVCV7 getting the 6 elims for the squad. Now I see the overall rankings because Team Leo Sport had crossed over Team Spy Void Walkers. Even after taking 13 points from this game, Team Spy Walkers or Spy Void Walkers were just being on the top second. But yeah, it settles the competition, right? We talked about the flip on the second game or after the second game for the competition, and Lee Sports actually flipped the table, and now they have become the new table toppers with just only 2 points for the lead. Team Metamind on the top 3, Team QRX on the top 4. Team MW on the top 5, and on top 6 we see Team 2 High with 12 points. On top 7 that's the same number with Team Thug Life Esports. TNG's US or Just Us, yeah, and Team Morvex Reject on the top 10 list. But that's the safest zone right there. On the second page, starting from the 11th position, that's Team Hype with only 6 points, and the bottom is with 0 points from Team 7SS. Now, from the red zone teams, I would love to expect some comebacks, but if they get the comeback on the third game, that means the yellow zone becomes a dangerous zone because they have to defend. Now, what defense you are applying on the third game? By a decision, there will be a judgment. Upcoming match, there is the Rondo map. And yes, Rondo is such a good map for the ground game plays. We'd love to watch it for that after just a short little break. Till then, stay tuned. gentlemen, after such a short little break, I'm back again on the very third game. This is the last game for the teams to settle down their score, and then the next game or the final game for the night will become the judgment game, or you might say you can make the judgments after the match ends, right? Okay, so now, yeah, I was explaining the same too because the third game's, on my explanations it comes like this in the first three games. Yeah, you know that. But, gentlemen, on my explanations, the first three games actually are so important for the escort settlement, and the next fourth game becomes the final game for the competition to judge, and that's it. That's it. That's all, or that's what I'm talking about. Yes, that's all what I'm talking about. You can say that too. But the topic is same. Now, we shall run the game to the flight paths, and both of the flight paths are just legal. Now you see lots of locations, right? But the zone will only be in a particular zone, but not with the whole map, not in the middle of the map, just being in the single corner. I hope it's on the Fongtun or Joutin side. It might be on Muhopan's side. It might be on Yungu's side. It might be on Tinglong Garden's side. Or you can say the Meiran. Yes, the Meiran becomes the final spot. I see that. Now everyone knows about the position that Meiran will be an important one to capture with. Give me a second. I'm back. So Medan is really a good location right now. And Team Leo, the table toppers, is taking that particular zone. But now I'll be only looking for the drop clash battles. It's on the western side, to the battles I can see. It's in the northern side, one of the battle I can see. It's on the southern eastern side, one of the battle I can see. So for the battles, we'll be able to see in the very first stage. Now, Team Thug Life Esports only joining with 3. That's a matter of fact. Only joining with 3 players. So how much point they'll be able to take from this game? This is a ground gameplay map, so you need to be very good at ground gameplays. So at ground strategies, so if you just lost one of the player, that becomes a problem for the ground strategies, right? For the executions part. Now Team Morvex rejects fighting with Team Rage Sports at the very beginning of the game, and now you see Team MW is being stabbed, and then Team MW is actually going for the counter stab, and I see that they were using a knife against the players. It's Team Hype. Going so great, but they're just looking good with the third parties, not looking so good. It's going so bad for Team Hype as they will be losing to the players at the first stage, and Team Spy Void Walkers eliminated 2 of them. Now, Team Spy Void Walkers, who they are the second competitors of this competition after first 2 games. Now, Team Vex or Movex rejects actually been able to take the first point, but now they're losing 1-2. But before we talk about Team Movex, they're not making any points from this first battle. But Team MWS, definitely they can have the first point for the team. Now, it's GABA 18 and the rest of the players to make the strategy in the checkpoints. But I think, the run the map hasn't been that much for the teams to practice with. So it's just the starting, right? We look out for the mistakes. Team Metamind Esports to defend against TNZ's. Not TNZ's. This is Team 2 Highs. Yes, Team 2 Highs team did executed it good, but Metamind actually handled the situation. Now it's all to go with that such a reflection from inside of the compound that settles the head-on fight between Metamind, and now it's money to be taken down at last by Sad Mad. Now Team Metamind completes the first battle. There is a second team close to them that team is named as Just Us, and the team waits to waits to get the visuals against Metamind, but then Miha or Mihai FG tried to use the grenade here, but understood the player switched his position. That's Team TNGC Sports being eliminated, Team Razy Sports being eliminated by Team Morvex rejects, and Morvex actually completed. Wow! Even after losing the first player, the team were being able to complete. It's Team Just asked to take the lead against Team Mind, but Team Metamind, this time they need to think something else. But how can they get the support for Shorkar? It's a problem. I see Wolf and Raven, and Team Metamind is such a good team. After just the first two of the games, the team were able to just hold on for the top three position, 26 points, and that's such a great position. If you talk about the Thug Life Esports been able to take only the 12 points after just first two games. So according to Team Metamind, it's really going great. But then Team Justice comes close and Team Metamind loses another angle. This third game is not going so good for the team as Ulf MPP would just go for the hideout. So Ulf is just falling back. 2,500 almost. The meters I was talking about to get the rotation on the first stage. Ulf MPP gets into a safer area, but now he's just 2,500 meters away from the first stage. After the first drop clash battles, we only lost Team 2 Highs against Morvex Reject. We got Team TNZs with just only 1 point being eliminated. We got Team Rage 7 with only 3 eliminations but got eliminated. Then there is Team 7-9 to just miss the game, but I see Team Hype losing all the players. Team Morvex Rejects losing all of the players. Only just one of the teammate is just available. Yes, only a solo from both of the teams. If he gets eliminated, he'll be decimated. The team would be decimated for this game actually, not from the competition, but it's still the Metamind. I'd love to talk about them too because the team also loses 3, so only solo player remains for the squad to settle down the score. Now Team Morvix Rejects starts to get inside, but definitely the vehicle can be exposed in this kind of meta, but I see Morvex Rejects and Morvex Reject is just going smooth. Now, where he is actually, I couldn't just trace him on the map. That is the chapter. You see lots of teams, 16 teams, and on that little area of the zone, and that zone actually only supporting the Meran location. So it's supporting the eastern edge. Now lots of teams are choosing the path from the southern, so the teams are taking the path of the northern, and some of the teams are taking the path on the western. So 3 different paths, right? Right? Yeah, right. But from the eastern, there will be no path taken from the teams. So we'll just look forward for the 3 different angles. Now the Morvex Rejects, what the need is to survive. Yeah, they just need to survive because there will be no teammate support from the squad. So if he gets caught up by a full roster, that'll be a problem. Alpha Crew, on the first 2 games, yes, the team took some of the points. You can count that as I see the tag of LWs. Okay, but the name is Alpha Crews. But you can see them on the top, on the bottom 18th position with only having 2 points. But Team Alpha Crew has a good chance. You only need 15 plus points to be in the top 5 teams. Team QRX, on the very first game, we saw them taking those 15 elimination points in total by just elimination points. Yeah, not from any placements. But on the very second game, Team QRX didn't do that good or great. Yeah, just gone with empty-handed. Now the points were counted. Team Doc Esports scouted such long range, but he only can see to the vehicles, but he cannot trace them from this long range. If and only if he was able to, even then though he wouldn't be able to finish the knock. Finish the knock, yes, right. But for MLE Esports, it's been also good from the Mayran. Definitely the team is fair in the center part. Watch us out for the teams, those who are in the rotation, trying to cut off or cut them off. Now is the time for the next zone to be shifted. It again supports the western mid. That means the eastern part of the map is just not having the zone support. So the teams who are just on the edge, on the east, on the game of the second stage, would just think for the safety at first. But for Team QRX, yes, it's really a great start again, but not that much. Scary and Hutch won't be able to fight back. But Tinder takes the decision to go for the rescue now. Tinder actually attracted Keto, but Keto GWM by not just losing his sight on the fight. He charges the grenade on the right direction, and that dealt Team QRX the first finish of the first player, and now the second player is in trouble. He might not expect the rescue, but it's scary. After being rescued, the first task was for him to be just in full HP or be back in HPs, right? But Keto GWM, while he tried to trace the vehicle, the support were top notch from Scari's side, and Team QRX completed the first battle here. Now Team QRX, how much points they do have? In total of 19 points, not bad. Metamind still survives. Team Doc Esports on the bottom 15th with only the first elimination point. The team is heading for Just Us. It's Just Us versus Doc Esports on the ridge side to settle for the leaderboard. Passive tries to trace the vehicle. Mihai loses lots of HP's mine. Metamind is just no more. Only 3 points for the team. And total 19 points. I hope so. Or 19? No, 29 points for Team Metamind. So, how much points Team QRX would need to cross over to Metamind? Total of 10 points would be enough. But 10 points is for the Nick position. But 11 points is to cross over. So QRX would love to count those 11 points by the eliminations. It's Team Raging to be on top. And new zone shifts. It supports Mayran's mid. Leo on the southern western, Raging on the southern eastern, and in the eastern Team US, Team God Genesis fighting with Team US as Team US finished the player off in the close. But United Squad, what are they thinking right now? They cannot go for the rescue. They only can fight back. World, the name should be. Now he's counted out. Then he just got charged with grenades. He dodged those grenades. Morvex rejects. Did not survive anymore. World was so close to be taken out, but no, somehow he was able to survive. But then the next Molotov would definitely make him on the knees. Yeah, but now it's all about for the 13 teams. Then Team D Sports going smooth with Team MWs. Team MWs finishing Team Doc's frozen. And now Team Doc loses the first player. Still, the edge was not settled. Raging Sports needed to break down the gate. And now they're breaking it. They're breaking it so good that Team LWs are just shaking on the ground. But Team Doc actually interrupted with MW's battle, and then by interrupting on NW's, Team MW's just got eliminated. They hadn't expected the third party. Team Just Us fighting with Team LW's. This time Team Lewis Sports got close with Team Doc. And Floki, just after reaching to the edge, he thought to take the player down at first before the player makes or takes him down. And then Team KORX losing out another player. It's KORX indeed with Team Spy Void Walkers, the second competitors of the game. Team Lee Sports, the table toppers, still maintaining the consistency for the points, for the elimination points. Now Team Lee Sports has taken another knock on the kill feed, and the team would go for the finish against Team Doc Esports. Now Team Doc had a really bad position on the eastern side, and Team Lee Esports would have all of the points. There we go, Spy Void Walkers eliminating the final player from Doc Esports, and that leads Team Doc Esports to be eliminated. It's just for the final 11 teams on this very fourth stage, not the fourth, it's the fifth stage, yes, definitely, but the eastern side is still yet opened. But Raging Sport understands there's a team just us on the trick point to get kept against them or against any of the teams. Then on the southern, it's some of the teams fighting on a head-to-head. They must close the deal and then make the rotations. Before they close the deal, they cannot go for the rotation parts. Now, Team United Squad bought some time for the rescue, but then On Back Esports were defending it good. Thug Life Esports just no more. Not bad. Thug Life couldn't be able to take the points needed for the leaderboard. It's Frostboy. And then Unam, or Unam, you should say that. But United Squad understands about Team God Genesis. Now Team God Genesis, what they do have here. A good location, but not that good because after just 10 seconds, the zone will be in a new shrink. Yeah, the zone will get shrinked, that's the matter. But somehow I cannot get in the topic. Somehow. Let's talk for the United Squad. It's not going good for the team. They needed to get out of the compounds, but the gatekept got them really in a bad situation where they cannot just encounter with it. The only thing that they can do right now is to just use the first aid kits or the healing items they do have. The next zone shift is near after just 20 seconds. Team CXTs or United Squads getting eliminated in the top 8 position. We do only have 7 more teams. The team Got X Genesis been just engaged with Team Raging. And Team QRX Sports tries to scout. It's the northern location where Team QRX Sports is sharing the path. But what is for Team Lee Sports, as they might guess that the next zone should not be in on this northern. It should go on the southern. Yes, it is indeed. That was a bad zone shift for the northern teams, for the Team Just US, but a best zone shift for the southern teams. Not bad. On back Esport eliminated Got X Genesis. It's the top 6 teams for the chicken dinner on this third game for the comeback. There we see Farouz taking down Busanak. Team Lee Sports loses another one with just only 6 of elimination points. Team Leo becomes weak this time. It's Spy Void Walkers, the second competitors, going smooth again. Another elimination point will come forward for the team, and then Lee Sports got at the party and got partied by Team On Back Esports. Such a final blow. Very good. One of the best angles, you should say, but On Back Esport needs to change their position too. They're on the western side. Every team knows about their position. They will go for the encounters. Here comes the spray. And that spray makes Kenzo getting eliminated. Oh, he was so helpless. He didn't expect that would happen, but he knew that might happen. Now, the team loses lots of players. It was Team QRX on the list too. Wow, after On Back Esports getting decimated, Team QRX just been in the problem too, but QRX still holds with the 7th stage by going in with the first aid kit pop-ins. Team QRX Scary just got eliminated on the outside of the circle. So 3 of the placement points might be counted for the team, but Spy Void Walkers, as they do share the 7th stage with 3 other teams, so they want this, yeah, chicken. I hope that'll get them in the top 10 teams or in the list of the top 10. It's On Back Esports. Look at the cover that On Back Esports has created there by just using one of the grenades. And now you'd be able to see Team Spy Void Walkers here with charging grenades. That's it, the grenade goes in the right direction. It deals the final player. Novux finished the play off with the P90 before the grenade gets blasted. Now all of the visuals are usable for Team Spy Void Walkers. Get kept against Just Us. It's just the final 2 remains from Spy Void Walkers being spotted down by Team Raging Esports, and Raging taking the chicken dinner here on this very 3rd game. Wow, 22 points are coming off for the team, and Team Raging now can count themselves in on the top 10 list. Really a great gameplay by Team Raging Esports. The 3rd game was so great. Now I see the table getting flipped as I was talking about, and only the final match remains for the group to just go for the judgment. You can see the final blow where Team QRX was trying to deal harder from the northern to go with the Team Just Us, and then Team QRX interrupted with Team On Back Esports 2. Later Team QRX got eliminated, but for Team Just Us, it is not just the best path to be inside on this 7th stage. And then Team Spy Void, yeah, Spy Void Walkers just took the advantages, but then at the end it was Team Raging Esports who were inside the zone, and the pressure was getting Team Spy Walkers. So I hope the Infinite Walkers, or yeah, there can be lots of phrases for the team, but I cannot recall them right now. Just the chicken dinner stats, we saw that there was total 22 points and 12 from the eliminations and 10 from the placements. But now on the match summary list, it's just total of 66 eliminations and 71 knockouts. Nice. And 8,700 of total healings. It's the grenade eliminations of 4 and lots of assists. Then Team Spy Void Walkers with Team Raging Esports on the head-to-head segment, 1760 damages for Team Spy Void Walkers and 1500 plus damages for Team Raging. Both team dealt it well. 17 points for the Team Raging and 18 points for the Team Spy Void Walkers. That's the power of the eliminations, and total of 6 placement points. Nice, did it great. Now Spy Void Walkers would definitely be on top again, and the table has been flipped again as much as I can expect and guess. Now it's the player Novox with 5 limbs and 646 of damages, and then 273 of heals and 3 knocks with 20 minutes and 20 seconds of survival. Nice, not bad. The Spy Void Walkers is doing it good and becomes the new table topper again, regains their position. The top players list after this 3rd game, not the overall but only the specific match leaderboard. Yes, it's Bosanak, and then Farouz, okay, then Mihai and Scary from QRX, from Justice, from Spy Void Walkers, and from Leo Sports. But Spy Void Walkers has gotten 2 of the players in the list, and Leo Justas, they have 1 of the players remaining on the list. It is indeed the match rankings, and you see Team Spy Void Walkers getting 18 points, Team Raging Esports getting 17, Team Justice getting 13, QRX Esports getting 9, Leo Sports getting 8, Onback Esports getting 7, 4 for the Team Thug Life Esports, 4 for the Team Morvex Rejects. Nice, Morvex and not losing it. But Team Rage only having 3, okay, 3 for 3 other teams. It's Metamind Esports, DOC Sports, Team God, Genesis. And then 2 points for the Team Makeaway and 2 points for the Team United Squad, 1 point for the Team Royal Heart and Team TNJs. The rest of the teams are not getting any point from the game. It's the bottom teams, 2i Team, Hype, Alpha Q and 7 Strongs. But only 1 match is left to be in the top 10 list. We'd love to scout out the competition from the overall leaderboard. But before that, we'll have to watch it for the overall top place list. Still, sad mad just holds for his position, but Novax from Team Spy Voidwalkers gets close to Sad Max. It's Bosanak with 9 redeems and Raka with 10. Leo has got into the players. Team Spy Voidwalkers has got into the players, but Team Metamind has the player on the top and nobody has been able to break the damage. Wow, now Team Spy Voidwalkers becomes the table toppers with 51 points, and Team Leo Esports getting 43 on the top second, and the competition becomes harder for Team Metamind to be on the top second, but not that hard because they do share only 12 points, but not only 12 but 14 points in the gap, in the making for the gap. Team QRX with 24 on top fourth position, and Team Rage and Team US has the same of 21. That's the top 6 competition right there for the second and for the tabletopper position. But we see 8 points of a gap between Team Spy Voidwalkers and Team Leo. That's not bad. 16 points for the bottom teams, and the top 10 teams we're taking more than double digits. Upcoming match will be on the Irangal map, and I'll be taking a short little break again to witness the final game with you guys. Stay tuned. that's news. I cannot go for that. But yeah, let us pray for our production. And now, gentlemen, we're back again on the final game. Yeah, you remember that I was talking about the last game that will be the judgment match for the competition on this final group of the semi-final stage, and it's the final 15 teams. Those are surviving. It's team 2 high, those missed the match. It's team race 7, those missed the match. It's team 7 SS, those missed the match too. And then it's team the United squads to be eliminated on the top 5. Okay, that becomes a good spot to be taken by the by the teams beneath them. And then the team RHT, yeah, just got ended. Yes, the mission got ended. Team RHT, there will be no chance for the team to be on the top 10 list. But then I see team United squad. It is indeed the United squad. If it is the United squad, then that US, what does the mean? Like, what is the name? That name should be the United. No, 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 just us. Yeah, the name is just us, and the tag is US us. Yes, but there is another tag of US, and that means United Squad. Such confusing, but I can actually clarify to the point. So there won't be a problem for that issue, not an issue. Actually, that's a bit of entertaining thing. Yes, and we need the entertainment. We should not be that serious while watching down the competitions because seriousness actually damages the brain because it costs the energy. But entertainment boosts the mind and boosts the mood too. So entertainment is what we need to boost ourselves. Now it's the on back esports on the list. The player named as Exiled Salam. He has a tagged as Exiled, but his name is Salam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, bro. Now he wants to go for the clutch. He goes for the first knock with the PP19 Bison, and then he switches the weapon for the Starlight. He changes the compound, and now tries to go for the finish. Yes, he finished the player, even though there was the encounters from Samurai, but he finished it off. It's the specialities, yeah, that's an specialty because every solo player deserves a point. Before they get eliminated, they tries to just at least take one of the players with them, and that's the motto of the solo players. It's literally dangerous. If you see a solo player standing in front of you, don't go alone. Just take a teammate for support. Team Rage in esports actually loses the two of the players and the first out at the beginning of the game, and now they have 0 points. But Team Metamind got interrupted with Team God Genesis, and Team Megamind, or not Megamind, yeah, you can talk them or tell them or pronounce them as Megaminds, but the team would be named as Metaminds. The Metamind esports maybe has a good meaning. I do not actually know the exact meaning, but what I can guess that the purpose of the name should be that they are adaptive, yeah, and they can adapt to the latest metas of any kind of competitions you'd love to point out. So maybe that should have been the purpose behind the name Metamind, yeah, because this is the meta of the fast forward executions. This meta is running out, and you see some of the teams waiting on the checkpoints, but when they actually goes for a battle or starts a fight, they just ends it within some seconds. And that's the fast forward meta I'm talking about, because the team synergies are getting greater and greater day by day. It's Team TNJs while getting the Cloxy in a bleed out situation, then Fovia Malik being in a bleed out situation. It's Team MWs taking such good points, but Team Tag Life Esports losing the play. It's now Team MWs would have the leads, but that vehicle ran over was actually successful. I was just thinking of, thinking to be afraid about the player while I'm watching from his perspectives. I thought he'd be taken down too, but no, actually he did it great. And then later what he did, he actually healed himself, and then Thug Life Esports came close for the rescue mission. And now Thug Life Esports would expect the rescue, but understood the flank, and the flank was also taken that smoothly by Order. Thug Life Esport. It's really good way to deal with the flanks, but Cloxy comes up with another pressure, and that means Team Thug Life Esports would be just decimated. Make a way eliminates Team Thug Life Esports, but they had at the party and we witnessed the third party, right? But the third party can come close to this zone anytime possible. It's Team TNG's esports scouting the area. Moji and Rocky takes the vehicle for them to go close and scout out, but Team MW, they understands that they do not have much more time left to be available on that particular zone where they just took a battle or dealt a battle earlier. Not intended sports actually goes with the caches that what team MWs can be, but MWs are not just going back, they're trying to fight back. But now is the dangerous moment for the team as the team carries the player on the passenger seat of the buggy. So it's a dangerous moment. Yeah, but still they were able to just get inside of the rinse, and rinse is an, a structural position where if any team just gets inside and the team or a new team just scouts from the outside of the hillside, they won't get that much visuals if you try to hide yourself until unless they get close to you. Team Donkey Sports fighting with Team Lee Sports, and now Team Lee Sports, yeah, they are the second competitors. Okay. Uh, Me? Um, no. Oh, okay, okay. That was a call in a different segment, in a different network. Not bad, not bad. We were just getting a bit of confused, like what happened. Nothing happened. It's just the second stage with just the 13 teams standing in the lobby to Donkey Sports from the Yasnoya Poliana scouting for the team QRX. I do share the same kind of tag. Mine is the QRK, and I see the tag of QRX. Oh, it's been really great to see some kind of, common tags with you. I'd love to watch out the competition. Now, I'd love to hope for Team QRX too, but there is Team Metamind, the three on the third, with 33 points in total, only shares the gap of 10 points for the second position, and the second position also shares the 8 points of the gap for the first position, right? So the top four competition becomes entertaining. MWs takes 6 eliminations. Movex rejects, loses 2. Been joining the game with just 3 players. It's Miyuki with 2 elims in the solo. Movex rejects, tries to just idolize the second stage. Not bad. Team Hype, Team Gotex, Genesis, Team Donkey Sports and the USS, and also LWs were doing it good. But some of the bottom teams still has the chances, right? Because of Team US, because of Team Thug. There you can see the Team TNZ with 10 elims, right? Not 10 elims, but 10 total points. And after just taking the first elimination point from the game, they would count 11 points. But to be in the top 10 teams, you need to have more than 16 plus points or 20 plus points, because in the top 8 position, there is the Team Thug Life Esports who is not surviving anymore, but actually they have been able to take 20 points in total by just getting the first 4 elimination points from this game by just dealing the dropless battle, and then just got eliminated. But those 4 points will just be enough to hold for that position, right? Certain Thug Life Esport can only pray for the bottom teams, because the bottom teams only has the chances to be in the top 10 teams, and if they just get inside the top 10 list, that means Thug Life Esports would be definitely going outside of the top 10 list, right? And it will be making the loss of the hope or lost of the hope. So now Team Godex Genesis scout for the Team QRXS, and Team QRX actually just holding inside of the compound, but still they do have such a big split here. That's such a big split you've got to talk about, because Team QRX actually shares 2-1-1-1 position, but now it's QRX's carry to take the next point, but that's a good knock. They needed it to make the slam in against Kardak Genesis, and Genesis being interrupted. But later we see Team TNZ Sports to fighting with Team Leo Esports this time. But this match is very, very important for Team Leo Esports as Team QRX finds the finish. Team TNZ goes for the Leo and makes their first knock. Then Team Leo tries to just, you know, get attendance. The grenade goes, it makes the blast, and then the final finish was from the side of Team Leo Esports. It's been really great for Team Leo. Leo is taking 4 elims again and is still being on the top second than Team TNZ Esport, and after Team TNZ it was the team got Genesis being eliminated. Team Hype Sports getting decimated. Now Team Doc Sport and Team US only has the chances to be in the top 10 list from the bottom side, and also for Team LW. I'd love to expect some good points from the team with the chicken dinner purpose, but Team Doc Esports, look at them, they're sharing the 16th position, and now they want the points for now. But as Yasna Apollyon are being occupied with lots of teams, so it will not be that easy for the Team Doc Esports to take that much point to be in the top 10 list. But Team Spy Void Walkers comes with another knock and makes the knock go finished. Now it's Team Donkey Sports makes their first lead that loses Team LW to the players, but this is the Alpha Q tagged as IW or LW. I guess that's IW, right? Might be, but Alpha Q would not survive anymore because of Team Metamind Sports. Yes, Team Metamind Sports starting the game so great with 6 of eliminations. Nice, that's great. And now Team Metamind Esports has their 35 points, and there they will share just 12 points of a gap with Team Leo Esports, right? So Team Metamind needs more 12 points, but this time Team Leo being interrupted, and Team Leo tries to get the support, but they're just fighting with the tabletoppers. That's Team Spy Void Walkers, but look at the support from Bosana being able to take the knock, and that leads Team Spy Void Walkers losing out their position. The table toppers being stopped, gentlemen, on this very group C. Now, there is a little bit of possibility for the table toppers to not just being qualified directly on the grand finale because they weren't able to take that much of points. Yes, it is only for 8 points of a gap, but Team table toppers Spy Void Walkers been able to take only 2 elimination points, and that means 10 points of a gap for Team Lee Sports. But Team Lee Sports already has the 7 elimination points, and that means they need more 3 points. If they get more 3 points, that means they'll be in just equal to Team Spy Void Walkers. That means Team Spy Void Walkers can lose their position. Yes, it just the same point, like Team Spy Void Walkers can lose their position. That's it. But for Team Leo and for Team Metamind, the match can go great because Team Metamind has only some the points of a gap, but Team Metamind surely needs the chicken to be on the top second. It's Raging Esports on the Yasna Poliana side to defend the compound, to defend the position, but Metamind is not stopping, and now Team Metamind Esports eliminated Morvex, Reject, then Team Raging Esports trying to just, be inside of the compound so that they won't get exposed, and now Team Raging Esports thinks to deal with Team Doc Esports by getting close to the stairs, and now the stairs becomes a grenade zone, so no other player from the bottom side, from the side of Team Doc Esports, would just get intended to cross over the stairs and come close to the Team Raging Esports. It's indeed the next 4th zone for now, and Team Doc Esports got charged with stunt grenades. Then Team Leo Esports getting eliminated again, but not fully. This time Team Leo got interrupted only, but still there might be the chances coming for the team to get the rescue again. But if and only if the fight is on the close combat, the team won't have the chances. But then Team Leo Esports fighting Team NWs, and then Team Raging fighting with Team Docs. Docs loses another one. It's a 2v2 again, but then Team MW gets the next lead against Team Leo Sports, and Team Leo loses all of the players, kind of just the final player survives. But Team Leo actually takes the revenges to they need a lot of points. It's only for Team Leo Sports to be in a solo battle from the mini square. We see Team MW actually eliminates Team Leo for now, and that means Team Leo only has the 9 elims, yes, on the top 5 list. Now, Team QRX and Team Metamind Esports definitely would love to go on the top because the table toppers being eliminated, the top two teams are not surviving anymore. It just 2 points for the gap between the top two teams, but still Team Spy Void Walkers is just praying that Team Metamind doesn't come on the top because yeah, still if Team Metamind comes on the top, and that means Team Spy Void Walkers will be able to just survive. But for now, the moment is not going good for Team Sports and Team Doc Sports. Team Doc being interrupted with the party from World and World, not World. It's World. Did I pronounce it good? I think not, but that was entertaining. I guess so. Now it's United Squad going in with grenades against Raging Sports, but Raging knows that this location might not be in the next zone, so they might have changed their position. They might want to change it too, but center point is always the safest point for the teams. Now, only the third competitor, fourth, fifth, and sixth competitors survived, share the top four teams from the bottom mid. And then I see the bottom team, Team US. Yes, the named as United Squad is still being able to be in the survival teams list. Only the top 5 team remains, and that means Team United Squads needs a lot of points to be in the top 9 teams. In the top 10 teams, they only need 12 plus points. They do have 7 points, and now they need 5 more points. But Team KRX dealt with Team Metamind, and that loses to Metamind another player, and now the Metamind knows that they need to survive too, so they need a safer spot. But Metamind made a mistake by just getting executed from the vehicle. He shouldn't have gone for the scout or gone for the knockout. Because of the reason he couldn't been able to make a knock, still he made the pressure for the team. But the Metamind Sports still has one of the players left, and that named as Sadmat. QRX on the northern side, avoiding all the casualties and getting the advantage of the zone, only team to have the support of this stage, and the rest of the 4 teams are just on the outside. Now, Team Metamind, and just they're thinking like why they came close to this location of Yasna Poliana. Why? They'd only have 1 minute for the next zone to be shifted to the 7th. It's indeed the 6th stage, and Team United Squad got stuck with the splits of Team Raging and Team MWs, and also for the Team Metamind. But for Team QRX Sports, it's been going so smooth by just taking the control of the 6th stage. Now all they need is to just gate kept against the teams of the compounds, and QRX Esports can actually finish them off one by one. Team Raging, wow, going in with Team United Squad, and now Team United Squad has lost the mid angle. It's Kayamat. Then World takes Sarok knock down, and now it's Raging. The team loses another one, and they became solo. The only 2 teams, one is the United Squad and second one is the QRX, but United Squad needs the rescue as soon as possible. And now, before Team Raging interrupts with any kind of grenades, the Team United Squad actually started to move inside of the next zone. Now is the greatest chance for Team QRX to take the chicken dinner. Still, except Team QRX, there are a total 5 more players. One of the kill got just taken by Team Raging, but you see the vehicle traced by QRX is scary. That was the scariest one. And Hutch, yeah, got the support, got the edits for the team. Then it was Tinder to deal with Mini 14, and then Team QRX support was able to just hold against every team possible and get kept every other teams on the very 7th stage. There was 4 teams to make out the rotation inside the next 7th stage, but QRX took all of the advantages for, and Team QRX actually winning in the moment. Winner, chicken dinner for Team QRX. I hope so the team would be able to be on the top 3 list, but it will definitely be tough for the team to be on the top 2nd. But only the top 2 team can go for the direct grand finale, and the rest of the 7 teams can go for the survival stage, because only the top 10 team would be able to get qualified for the next stages. But the rest of the teams, starting from the 11th position, the team would be disqualified. Yes, now Team QRX Esport has the comeback on the very final game, and we will see forward for that, like at which position they got to be in, and it's really a good moment for the team to celebrate and you can just eat the chicken dinner by dividing equal between your teammates. That's it. Also, you can invite us to just be a guest to with you guys for the dinner, right? Will you guys invite us for the dinner? I hope so, yes. I count the answer as in yes. Let's talk for Team QRX with total 18 points. Then there is 14 points for Team Metamind. Okay, that is needed. Makeaway gets 13. Raging Esports getting 10. 9 for Team Esports, 9 for Team United Squad, 5 for Team Movix Rejects, and 4 for Team Thug Life Esports. Doc Esports got 4-2. 2 points for Justice and the Spy Void Walkers. 1 point for Team Royal Hide Esports and Tinsets and On Back Esports, but no points for Team Hype, got X Genesis, Alpha K, 2 High's team, and Team Raise, and also for the Team 7 Strongs. Now let's watch out for the MVPs of the game, and those will be after Sad Mad. The overall top list is here. This is Sad Mad from Team Metamind, actually keeps the consistency. So yeah, we have the whole data, and now we didn't have time to show off the MVP result of the final game. So let's watch out for the overall top list because this is what that matters. Now Metamind Sadmad has the consistency and the tabletop. Wow. And then Bosanak becomes the second one, then Olf becomes the third one, and Novox becomes the fourth one, and then Raka becomes the fifth one. From Team Lee Sports, it's been 2 players. From Team Metamind, it's been 2 players too, and from Team Spy Void Walkers, it's been only 1 player, but that's good because these 3 teams are the table toppers. Yes, on the top 3 lists. Now we'd be heading for the overall rankings. There we'll count which top 10 teams should be able to get qualified. It's Team 2 High, congratulations. It's Team Movex Reject. Congratulations for getting qualified for the survival stage. It's Team Tag Life Esports with 20 points. Yes, congratulations too. It's Team US, means just us team to get qualified on the next survival stage. It is indeed the Team MWs to get survived. Yeah, to be survived in the survival stage. Congratulations for that, Team Raging. Congratulations, Team KRX. Congratulations, Team Metamind. Congratulations, but I'd like to congratulate by myself, Team Lee Sport and Team Spy Void Walkers. They did it great. They did it literally great. Only 1 point for the gap, but 50 plus points for the tabletop 2 positions, as I expected, as I counted the competition before even the competition starts. But Team Spy Void Walkers and Team Leo Esports, both of the teams will be waiting for the survival stages to get on the grand finale, because Team Leo and Team Spy Esports are on the grand finale directly by the opportunities on the semi-finale stage. Now the semi-finals schedule says that Team Spy Void Walkers has their first chicken, Team Leo has the second chicken, Team Spy, not Spy, that was Rage in Esports, has the third chicken, and Team QRX Esports has the fourth chicken. Those are the different 4 matches, and some of the different teams taking the chicken dinners. Now, gentlemen, you were watching PUBG Mobile Morvex tournament. Extremely sorry for that because I was feeling too sleepy today. So I was going into the entertainment mood and the explanation mode. That's all, my lord. For today, the stream has ended. We'll just meet on the next Saturday, and then the 3rd and 4th September for the next pre-finals stages, right? The survival stages. So till then, stay tuned, keep supporting the Morvex organization, and keep just subscribing the channel so that you do not miss any notifications. And you also support the organization for arranging the great level lobbies to share the experiences for you guys to improve yourselves, right? So that's it. Thanks to the Pmmt Heatwave and Morvex for doing this great job and keeping the opportunities for the teams from the semifinals stages. Now, it's me, only host Quick York for the caster desk. It's time for me to take the end. So, bye-bye.